Have you ever heard the saying, "Don't do favors for anyone"? It sounds like selfish advice, doesn't it? But in reality, in certain situations, helping someone can do more harm than good, both to you and the person you're helping. In today's video, we'll explore 10 surprising truths about how and why the act of helping can have unexpected consequences. And no, this doesn't mean you should be selfish or stop being kind. The idea here is a wiser approach, inspired by Stoicism, where compassion goes hand in hand with wisdom, and altruism is balanced with self-care. So, let's dive into the complexities of this topic and discover when your help truly makes a difference, and when it can end up being harmful, both for you and others. 1. Martyr Syndrome. Have you ever found yourself putting other people's needs above your own? If so, you might be experiencing what psychologists call Martyr Syndrome. This happens when someone prioritizes others' well-being to the point of neglecting their own mental and emotional state. It may seem like a noble act, but in reality this can lead to serious consequences. Neglecting your own needs can drain your emotional resources and eventually lead to burnout. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, we should focus on what we can control, and our mental well-being is something we should always prioritize. Imagine that you're constantly solving your friends, families, or colleagues' problems while neglecting your own care. Over time, this behavior can undermine your emotional balance and even cause resentment. So next time you feel like you're sacrificing your own well-being to help others, remember, sometimes you need to put yourself first. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup. 2. Dependency issues. Have you noticed that the more you help someone, the more they seem to depend on you? This is one of the biggest challenges in offering help. Often, our good intentions create a type of dependency in the person receiving help, preventing them from growing and becoming more self-sufficient. In Stoicism, it is essential that each person develops their inner strength. If someone gets used to relying on your help for everything, even the simplest tasks, it hinders their ability to solve problems on their own. This creates a dangerous cycle because, instead of growing, the person continues to need constant support. A good example is parents who protect their children from all of life's small failures, like forgotten homework or conflicts with friends. Despite their good intentions, they rob their children of the chance to learn from their mistakes and develop important life skills. The key is to help, yes, but in a way that encourages autonomy and responsibility. As Seneca taught, true happiness lies in being able to rely on ourselves. Sometimes the best help we can give is to teach others how to help themselves. 3. Emotional exhaustion. Offering emotional support to someone in tough times is a noble act, but we need to recognize that it can also be draining. When we absorb others' problems and pains without setting boundaries, we risk emotional exhaustion. Imagine carrying everyone else's problems around as if they were your own. Over time, this burden can become unbearable, leading to fatigue and burnout. Without clear boundaries, you might end up draining your own energy, leaving no room to take care of yourself. The Stoics always emphasized the importance of self-control and emotional balance. Taking care of yourself is essential in order to continue helping others effectively. Think of it like the safety instructions on a plane. You must put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. 4. Reinforcing destructive behaviors. Sometimes in our efforts to help, we may unintentionally reinforce destructive behaviors. For instance, by constantly supporting a friend who struggles with addiction, we may make them feel less pressured to change. The same applies to other situations where our good intentions end up hindering the other person's growth. The Stoics believe it's important to find a balance between support and responsibility. True help often requires challenging others to change rather than simply offering temporary relief. As Epictetus said, The first step to freedom is recognizing our mistakes. 5. Loss of identity. In the desire to help others, it's easy to lose sight of who we are. We get so caught up in other people's problems that we may forget our own needs and interests. Over time, our role as a caregiver or savior can begin to define who we are, leaving our true identity behind. It's important to take time to care for yourself and remember that you are more than just a helper. As the Stoics teach, setting clear boundaries is essential to preserving your identity and dignity, even when helping others. 6. Financial strain. One of the less talked about consequences of helping others is the financial strain it can cause. Lending money or offering financial assistance to friends and family may seem like a good deed, but over time it can become a burden. The issue isn't just the money leaving your account, but also the accumulation of responsibilities that you take on. By consistently offering financial help, you may risk your own financial security. This can lead to frustration because instead of focusing on your own financial goals, you're constantly worrying about others' problems. It's important to remember that Stoicism values moderation and careful management of resources. Saying no in certain situations may seem difficult, but it's necessary to ensure you don't sacrifice your future well-being. The key is knowing how far you can help without compromising your own stability. 7. Neglecting your own needs. When we dedicate ourselves to helping others, it's common to place their needs above our own. However, this attitude can be a serious mistake in the long run. By neglecting our basic needs, such as rest, proper nutrition, and leisure time, we open the door to physical and emotional exhaustion. The lack of self-care makes us more vulnerable to stress and anxiety, affecting our ability to be truly effective, both in our personal lives and in helping others. Stoicism teaches that balance is fundamental. One of the most important principles of this philosophy is that we cannot be useful to others if we are weakened. Therefore, it's essential to set aside time for self-care and to keep our mind and body in harmony. Practices like meditation, physical exercise, and moments of reflection are powerful tools to recharge our energy. Only when we are at our best can we continue to help others in a sustainable way without sacrificing our own health. 8. Impact on personal relationships. Helping others can be a noble act, but when it becomes excessive, it can negatively impact our closest relationships. Many people don't realize that by dedicating time and energy to solving other people's problems, they end up neglecting the most important people in their lives, such as partners, family members, or close friends. This imbalance can create resentment, especially if those closest to you start to feel neglected. Imagine that whenever a friend or colleague needs help, you drop everything to assist them. This may seem noble, but if you do this constantly, the people closest to you, like your partner or family, may start to feel undervalued. The time and attention that should be dedicated to them are diverted to other situations. Over time, this lack of attention can create emotional disconnection and even weaken the relationship. Stoicism teaches us the importance of maintaining balance in our lives, and this includes balancing our responsibilities to others with our personal relationships. It is crucial to reserve quality time for those who matter most, cultivating healthy relationships and strengthening the bonds that truly sustain us. 9. Resentment and emotional fatigue. Helping others constantly without receiving recognition or gratitude can lead to resentment. Initially, we may feel good about extending a helping hand, but over time, when our actions are not appreciated, the feeling of being taken advantage of can arise. This resentment is dangerous because it can turn a good deed into a source of bitterness and frustration. Additionally, compassion fatigue can set in when we are always dealing with other people's problems while neglecting our own emotions. Over time, emotional fatigue accumulates and can lead to total burnout. By absorbing others' pains and difficulties without setting clear boundaries, you end up compromising your own mental health. This is why Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-control and emotional balance. Without these boundaries, the act of helping is no longer a choice, but becomes a heavy obligation, leading to exhaustion. To avoid this cycle, it is crucial to be clear about how far we can go without compromising our own well-being. This allows us to continue helping, but in a healthy and sustainable way, without losing ourselves in the process. 10. Unrealistic expectations. Another major danger of helping too much is the creation of unrealistic expectations, both in yourself and in others. As you become a constant source of support, people start to expect that you'll always be available to solve their problems, which can quickly become unsustainable. This cycle of expectations can lead to frustration and stress for both the person offering help and the one receiving it, as it's impossible to always be available. Over time, you may feel exploited, and people may start to believe that you are obligated to be there whenever they need you. Stoicism teaches us to recognize our own limitations and to establish healthy boundaries. Setting clear and realistic limits on when and how you can help is essential to preserving your mental and emotional health. Otherwise, you risk losing yourself in others' expectations, which can lead to conflict and even the breakdown of relationships. Learning to say no when necessary is a vital skill for maintaining balance and ensuring that your help is genuine without compromising your own peace of mind. Helping others is a noble act, but it must be done consciously and with balance. Stoicism teaches us that we should be generous, but not at the expense of ourselves. So, next time you feel overwhelmed by helping, remember, your kindness should come from a place of abundance, not exhaustion. Maintaining your own integrity, emotional and physical health is essential to continue offering the best version of yourself to others. Take care of yourself so that your help has a genuine and lasting impact.